Good morning, everyone. This is another one of my mini videos. I believe we're up to 63 videos during this really unusual time. I have a very special guest today because we are going to talk about our new Vice President of Instruction. Everyone, please welcome Dr. Joel Michaelis. How you doing, Joel?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, one of the things that we normally do when we have a new employee, especially if we have an employee that's going to have this level of responsibility, we might have that person be part of our in-service or go to a large gathering or go to all of our campuses and speak to them and get to know them in a face-to-face way. Well, this is not the normal time that we're living in right now. So while you've had a chance, you've met with your deans multiple times, you've already hit the ground running on return to operations for the fall semester, you're meeting lots of different people, I thought this would be a great way for everyone to get to know you a little bit during this video. So just a little background, Joel, you came here as from Kentucky. You were Vice President of Instruction or Chief Academic Officer at is it Southeast Kentucky?
It was also Southeast, yeah, Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College, yes.
Right, and then you've been a Vice President of Instruction also in Texas at Hill College, and you've held some other high-level administrative positions. So we're so excited to have someone so experienced to come here and really be part of something special at SCC. Having said that, one of the things that I thought we could start with as an introduction is to talk a little bit about our interview process. We had a chance to interview you. We got to know you really well, but you also had a chance, as the way we set up the process, to interview us. And I know that you, because you mentioned it many times, it gave you a chance to hear about all the incredible things we're doing. Our conversion to a semester calendar system, all of our new facilities, we're on a new learning platform in Canvas, we're developing new partnerships, we're investing in all aspects. We've done a lot of hiring of staff and faculty. We're reimagining the college, and we have great programs, but we needed to upgrade and transform our spaces and many of our processes. So we got a chance to talk to you about all those things, and you chose us after you heard about those things. So what was it about all this transformation that made you want to be part of this? I call it a crusade, or this wonderful journey. Tell us about that, Joel.
Well, first of all, as you said, it was a very, I think I had mentioned to you, it was the most comprehensive interview process I had been a part of up to that point. But I really valued that because it gave me an opportunity to speak to all of the stakeholders and decision makers and within the institution on all of the campuses. And there were so many things that I saw that I liked. Listen, I was happy where I was, and we enjoyed in Southeast Kentucky. That's in the Appalachian Mountains. It is absolutely stunningly beautiful there, and we enjoyed that very much. But there's just so much going on here, and it's so exciting, the possibility to come in and leave even a little bit of a fingerprint of mine on something like that. The facilities, for instance. The truth is that people want to take pride in where they go, what they do. They want to take pride in where they work, and people want to take pride in where they go to school. The other thing is that your facilities need to be up, quite frankly, need to be up to the standard of the quality instruction that your faculty are providing, as well as the capabilities of the students that you're teaching. And especially traditional students these days. We've all seen some of the new high schools that are being built and stuff like that. Yet the last thing in the world we want is for a student to graduate from high school, come to college, and step back in time. And listen, that is not unique to SCC. The fact that it has facilities that do that, with the decline in funding over the last 20, 30 years in higher ed, that's common everywhere. But to see a college that is so proactively doing something about that is just the fact that you went from quarters to semesters to better align with other colleges because students move back and forth. There are just a lot of things that you all are doing that, quite frankly, were exciting to me, that I was excited to come in and be a part of. And not only, I don't mind saying, I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm originally from very tiny rural Midwest. I was born and raised in Kansas, lived for a little while in North Dakota before I moved to Texas. And so I'm used to, when my wife and I came out and we were driving along, and she was born and raised in Waco, Texas, and we were driving along and we saw the silos. And I said, "You're not used to seeing those, are you?" And she goes, "No." And I'm like, "Well, to me, it feels like home." So anyway, it's kind of a return to normalcy for me, and I'm just happy and excited to be here.
Well, thank you, Joe. I really appreciate, it's sort of like almost a homecoming to you. And I think that's that's really wonderful because, it's going to be enough just to be transitioning to a new college. This is a massive institution. We've got 3 campuses, 6 learning centers. You have an incredible amount of responsibility, 60 plus programs, many incredible technical programs, amazing academic transfer programs. We've got wonderful partnerships, but we know we need to really keep this progress moving. And frankly, that's why you're here, is we need you to help us keep moving forward and even go beyond what we've been doing. But it's enough just to focus on that. But if you had to focus on a whole new culture and haven't been a part of that culture, that's not the case for you, since you've been a Midwestern. You are a Midwestern, so you're kind of back home. Just one of the things I wanted to mention is, we talked about all the things that we're doing, but as you know, we're not doing these things randomly. We have a little something called a strategic plan. We have a brand new one where we're going to continue many of these transformational changes that we've been engaging in, and you're a big part of that. I did want to talk about one of these particular goals, and everybody at the college, Joel will tell you, Dr. Illich just doesn't stop talking about Goal 9. And the reason for that, because I think it's at the heart of everything we're doing, and it's how we treat everybody. It's how we work as a team. It's how we are transparent to one another and respectful of one another, and how we hold each other accountable, and how we really work on being reflective leaders, reflective thinkers, and not just leaders. This is for everyone. So just to remind everyone, Goal 9.6, maximize a positive and engaging organizational environment climate by encouraging input, reflective and transparent communication, and compassion and respect toward the views and ideas of others. So in your own words, Joel, what are your thoughts about this goal, and why is it? I know it had to be one of the reasons you came here, because we talked about it a great deal as part of the interview process.
So I have a couple of thoughts on this. One, and I don't know that I've even shared this with you yet. And we've had an opportunity to talk about a lot of things. But one of the things that I noticed when you talked about Goal 9 was, I thought, he keeps talking about Goal 9. And then when we walked through the buildings, I'm looking up and I'm seeing it. And there are a lot of strategic plans out there. Everybody does strategic plans, right? And oftentimes the accrediting body requires that you do a strategic plan. But a lot of them get done. They spend a lot of time, and then it sits on a shelf and it gets dusty. And it's almost cliche. It is clear that that is not the case here. And specifically as it relates to Goal 9, that was really important to me. And I'll tell you why. I don't do this by accident. I don't do this job. I very purposely do the job that I do. I love community colleges. I love community colleges, and I love the job that I do because it enables me to have an impact on a great number of students. And we are, you know, I hope nobody out there thinks that this sounds cheesy because I truly believe it, but we are transforming lives. We are, and you know, community colleges, they take a person where they are and they get them to where they want to be, and wherever they are, at their stage of life, at their stage of educational level, whatever, their skills, their abilities. And if they want to go somewhere else, the community college is the perfect place to do that. And we facilitate that and we make that better. Well, for that to work, that what I would hope is that we all kind of have that attitude and feeling about it as we go about our day-to-day jobs. And what that means is we're talking about, if you accept up front that we all want that to happen, then we should be treating with each other with respect, and we should be valuing each other's opinions and ideas, and we should generally have a pretty good attitude about this and be happy and positive about what we're trying to do. And because what we're doing is important, and it's important to the lives of our students, and it's not just a job. It's something that has an impact and great import on our communities. And I think Goal 9 just basically puts out there and says, hey, this is how we're approaching that. And I like that because, quite frankly, you were already promoting an idea that I kind of live by and work by anyway. And so it was a thrill to see that and to come here and be a part of that.
So one of the things, thank you for that, Joel. One of the things that's super important, I think, if you're an institution of higher education, is that it's vital that we as educators do not see our job or our responsibility as specific or limited to developing a skill set. Like, let's say if you're in automotive technology or welding or academic transfer, or limited to a knowledge base. We do those two things. That's a given. When the student pays tuition, that's a given. But what also is a given here at SCC is we are working to help develop the whole individual. And so one of the most important, I think extremely important things is when a student leaves, we're not just leaves SCC, we're not just wanting them to be able to be successful from a technical or academic standpoint, but from a life standpoint. So Goal 9 is a series of emotional intelligence life skills. And we want our students, while they're here, we're using Goal 9 as part of our quality initiative as an example to help the student be more resilient. But we also want them to be very productive community leaders, citizens, and we want them to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to navigate challenges. Every one of our graduates, Joel, is going to have a personal challenge, a career challenge, but if they can really embrace these Goal 9 ideas, we're going to really help them in a great way beyond just providing technical and academic knowledge. So I think that's extremely important. And I'm just going to mention one of these words, transparency. We've defined all of them, and it reads accurate communication of information that is interpreted as intended. It's almost impossible to guarantee that when you say something, it's going to be interpreted as intended. And so we really work on that. We want our students to be able to think that way and think deeply. You know, when you hear something, did I receive it as intended? Maybe I need to be assertive and ask the person, did you mean this? And when we start to listen to one another very carefully and recognize that when the information comes in to us, we have filters. And those filters are based on life experiences and our own personal circumstances. So that's why I think it's so important, not just to create a positive climate for employees, but also to create a real lifelong or life skill set that's going to serve our students. You talked about it earlier that you are so excited to be here because of all the change, but I want to personally thank you. And I know everyone's appreciative of the fact that you're not coming here by yourself. You're bringing your family, you're asking them to commit to your you know, your goal of taking on a very significant challenge. So you're moving them all from Kentucky here, and I get that you've been in the Midwest, but I believe your son is going to be, he's just graduated from high school, and like everybody here, it's not easy when you have to bring your family to a new environment. So what are some of the things you are doing to help with that transition?
Well, I appreciate you acknowledging that. Yeah, anytime you move, it's difficult. Yeah, fortunately, my wife is very supportive, and she's an incredible professional in her own right. She's been a professional fundraiser for well over 2 decades. But as I said, she's very supportive. I will admit, so she and I and our youngest, our son, who just graduated high school, we moved out here, but in like 2 weeks, he's going off to college. We're very proud of him. He is going to be a freshman at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, beginning, I think he's moving in on the 14th. So it's literally 2 weeks from today. We're excited about him doing that. And as I said, he's our youngest, so we are empty nesters. So we are moving at the same time we are entering a new phase of our adult life. We enjoy our kids very much. I think we're also enjoying the idea of being on our own. I know this is something you have dealt with, and so it is difficult to move, and there's a lot of stress with it. But I think I mentioned to you, Lincoln is bigger than, we lived many years in Waco, Texas. Waco is not as large as Lincoln, but the past 3 years, we've lived in a town of 10,000 people, and it was the hub of the county. And so being in a place that has shopping and restaurants and opportunities and things like that, again, is very positive, a very positive thing for us. And so we really are looking forward to it. We love the community so far. And like I said, I appreciate you acknowledging that, but we're doing okay. And we did, I think I told you we bought a home, and we moved in, I think 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And I also started 2 weeks ago Monday. So it's been, my poor wife has kind of been responsible for the whole unpacking thing while I've been working, but we're slowly making progress on that.
Well, I really appreciate you and your family choosing to come and join what I really describe as just an unbelievable opportunity, because ultimately we're all here for the students, and we're changing lives. And it's really, I couldn't imagine working. I'm like you, I'm a first generation college student and started at a community college, got an associate degree and just kept moving along. And I've always appreciated the open access mission. I think we have students that they need second, third, fourth, fifth chances. There are no limits to when they can come back. So we're real excited about the strong leadership. You're gonna not only help us keep moving, but you're gonna come up with, Joel, some amazing new ideas that we never thought about. And that's one of the great things about bringing someone in from the outside from time to time, to make sure you have someone that maybe doesn't know all the things, but they have different ideas about how to do things, and that just makes you stronger. That diversity really makes you think differently. So we appreciate that. Anything else? We need to probably wrap this up, Joel, but anything else you'd like to share to the campus communities with your introductory video that we're making today?
Really, I guess look, this is a challenging time for all of us, and I get it. It affected the interview. I think when I came and interviewed, there were people that came in, and even though we were distancing and masking and all of that, I think I remember you saying that this is the first time some of them have been back for 3 months. I mean, and so we're all making do as best we can. I will tell you that I really enjoy getting to know faculty. I've enjoyed getting to know the deans and associate deans and everybody, but I really enjoy getting out and talking to faculty. And just the fact that we're not going to be able to have the group, you know, the big meeting, I regret that. But here's what I know. My experience in dealing with, in getting to know and meeting and working with faculty is one of the most rewarding aspects of this particular position. And what I have found in my career, no matter what college, in what town, in what state, what I have found in my career is a bunch of folks that are amazing at what they do and incredibly dedicated to students and student learning. Many of them could have gone on to a university and done all kinds of things, or worked out I can't tell you how many automotive and technical and, you know, welding or whatever folks, you know, health career folks that I've met over the years that could be making tons of money out in industry, and they are working at the community college because they love how it transforms lives for students. And I have so much respect for that. I really, if there are any faculty watching this, I want them to know I am anxious to get out and come and meet you and talk to you. Please know you can talk to me about anything. I trust that you are doing everything you can to help our students. And what I would ask is that yeah, I am going to have some new ideas. I have a lot of respect for my predecessor because from what I can see, there's an incredible foundation here that is just absolutely wonderful. But I am going to probably bring in some new ideas and things, and I will work with the deans on that. But I'm also going to work with the faculty on that, and I look forward to doing that. And I look forward to working with you and with the administrative team. They've been wonderful. Everybody's just been fantastic so far. So anyway, Paul, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate SCC.
Well, that is, you know, that's exactly what I would have expected, those kinds of things for you to say, Joel, because one of the things at the interview, I wasn't part of the initial interview. I kind of came in once we had the finalists picked out. And I heard the same thing over and over from every, pretty much, no, definitely every member of the team, but everyone who talked to you. They said, wow, Joel Michaelis is one of the most personable people I've ever met. It seems like you're talking to someone you knew for 10 years. And so I don't know how you do that, Joel, but we're excited that you're here. You're definitely extremely personable. And I know the faculty and the deans are all looking forward to your leadership and spending time with you. And yes, we're in this unusual time, but we're not going to be in this forever. And we'll get you in front of everybody. That's a promise. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Everyone have a great rest of your day, and everyone welcome Joel, and we're excited that he's here.
Glad to be here.
All
Thank
right,
you.
we take care. Right. We'll see you. See ya.